I want to talk about the signs of anxiety and depression, because being aware of this will liberate your mind and will help you to continue to become the one that you are planning to become, right? So the first thing that I understand is, by experience I'm talking, is when people are on denial. So many people are on denial because of a background. Like I said in my previous videos, in my previous podcast, many people feel they are less than a person or devalued by admitting that they were going or they are going through anxiety or depression, right? So people, what they do is they get into this bubble where they don't want to admit that they are going through these draining circumstances. But despite or regardless of whatever is happening in their life, this is burning on the background, this is burning on the back of their mind, and at some point it will burst out and it will burn many other areas that you wouldn't wish that to burn. And normally what anxiety and depression causes, what they cause is they transmit to your body, and that cause health issues. Because you're thinking so much about something and suddenly or eventually it will go to bad because your mindset isn't right. So you couldn't expect your body to actionate or activate or work on the right way. Right? So the first thing that I think the first signs that I think that people show when they are going through depression and anxiety is that they are on denial, because they think they are showing themselves as a weak person if they voice their thoughts out. That's the first thing, right? The second thing is that you will think a lot, more than normal, more than often, about a topic that is worrying you. Let's call it overthinking. When you happen to think a lot about a topic, and no, I'm not talking about getting in love, loving a person. I'm talking about things that worry you. If getting in love is something that is worrying you, then you have to listen a bit closely to what I'm saying here, because that might be as well a way on how to get into anxiety and depression, right? Like sometimes we don't realize that a thought is taking more than what it needs to take in our brain, in our mind, in our lives. And suddenly it becomes something to worry about instead of something to think about. It's a worry. When a thought becomes a worry, it displays more than once in your mind in different ways, different times, at the right time and at the wrong time too. So that's the second thing to get in mind, to kind of address whether or not you're going through anxiety, right? So the first one, people may not admit it and they are in denial. The second one will be they have an overflow of thoughts about the same topic, or the same thought is rounding your mind more than often, right? Now the third one is that people will change their mood depending of the thought that is in their mind. Let's say that you're thinking about the cost of living, for example, rising. That is a topic that is in our mind very often, and that is causing anxiety and depression to many people around the world, many. And I'm talking billions of people, not only one or two, no. The thoughts are causing change of mood. Like you can be in a good mood, like now when you wake up, or in any time on the day, and then suddenly that thought comes to your mind. See the pattern here, yeah? That thought comes to your mind, and then suddenly you change your mood. You feel like if a cold jar of water is being drained on the top of your head. That's how it feels. Like you have to breathe deeply. One of the signs of the change of mood is that one. You just think about it, and immediately there is a reaction that pushes you to breathe deeply. When you breathe deeply, you realize that this is one of the patterns where you start changing your mood. Suddenly or eventually, this is gonna carry you to what I call my third stage, right? Change of mood. Another sign of the change of mood is when you are, talking about whatever, and then suddenly there is a silence. You become quieter, as in not engaging as much as you're usually engaged in a conversation. Like if this is happening to you, it is time for you to take actions, right? And here is the how to get into a better place, how to get out of anxiety, right? The first thing that you have to do is to admit that you're going through something, because you can't heal anything that you don't admit that you're going through, right? First thing, stop the denial. So we're going back to list number 1. First thing is to go back to the denial and delete it, take it out of your mind, and admit to yourself. Look at the mirror, go in the mirror, admit to yourself that you are going through that, but you promise to yourself too that you're going out of that too, if that makes sense, right? The first thing is to admit that you're going through a difficult time, through anxiety, through depression, through any draining thought. It doesn't have to be anxiety or depression, but it could be a draining thought. If you don't want to call it that way, that's fine. It could be a draining thought. However, the first thing is to stand on your feet or sit down on your chair or wherever you are, lying on your bed, wherever. Tell to yourself, what I did in my case was look at the mirror, and I told myself how I felt, how I was feeling, and what was and what still is my course of actions. Admit it. I did. You can do this too. The second thing is find somebody that you trust and talk it through. Because voicing it out of your mind will release pressure in your thought, and therefore you'll be tackling the second sign of the pressure, which is an overflow of thought. But if the overflow, you just open the door and you share it with the person that you trust, it will be less heavy, I promise. It will be less harmful, and therefore things will become to heal. That's the second step. And the third one, if you're still suffering from that, find a professional that can help you to take the second step towards your healing pathways. Find a person that you trust, or a person that you have read about, or me. I am here to help you on a one-to-one transformational coach through ZYGER Fit, which is fitness for the mind. I'll be blessed to have you on board, and I'll be blessed to hear what you are up to. What are your worries? What are your signs? And finding ways, because it's not about what I do, because I do it by love, because I love society, because I love people. I love seeing the change, the before and after. I am passionate on that way. So if it's me that you're looking for, please make sure to send me an email. You can find the details around the description box in this platform, or you can just go to the website zygerfit.com, or you can go to my medias, ZYGERFit, ZYGER FIT, fitness for the mind, because we roar together. And that's the purpose of this video, to shout out to the people that are suffering from the pressure, but they are hard to admit it. Admitting it, getting out of the worries that this might make you look like a weak person, that was in the past. That's not right now, my darling. So if you are going through depression and anxiety, if it's not me, please make sure to find somebody that you trust. Find another professional, but you are the one who can take the action to change your life. I encourage you to do these three things, right? First thing is to admit it to yourself. Find a mirror, find a comfortable position and meditate on it, or just say it on the mirror. You have to take accountability to yourself, to the things that you're going through, as well as the things that you want to take as a course of action to kind of take a different pathway, a different agenda in your life to align yourself with your life purpose, right? The second thing is to trust a person and talk about it. Talk about it. You don't have to publish it unless you have a purpose behind it to help other people. You don't have to make it public, but you have the responsibility to talk about it with someone else, so that you release the pressure of the thought, so that the thought don't hit that much on your mind. And once you've done that, if you're still under the heat of the worries that you were carrying, find a professional that can help you overcome your fears and anxiety. This is Zoila Garman. I am passionate about helping people suffering from anxiety and depression to become the best version of themselves. If it's me you're looking for, find my details on the description box. But as long as you get your fears out with a professional, that is the way forward. And I am pushing you. I am encouraging you. I am passionately telling you that's the way forward. I hope this have been useful for you. If it has, please make sure to smash the subscribe button and follow us in our social media. And if you have a friend that's going through something similar, make sure to share this content with them, because we are here to help each other and to be the best version of ourselves. This is ZYGER Fitness for the Mind. We roar together.